All right, welcome back to my kitchen, everyone. Today what we're going to be making is Romanian Sarmale. It's their national dish. It's stuffed cabbage. A lot of cultures have stuffed cabbage, but Romania does it a very specific way, and they use a sour cabbage. Now, what you do is you just take a whole head of cabbage and you put it in some brine water. What's brine water? It's just some water and 2 scoops of salt. Nice heaping scoops of salt, a little bit of vinegar, and this has been sitting on my counter covered, submerged for about a week, maybe a little bit over a week. And it takes on this nice sour taste. What you're doing is you're fermenting cabbage, and while I'm going to prepare some of these leaves, we're going to skip forward and then we're going to put everything together. I am going to use 2 bread pans because they are the only thing that I have in my kitchen that's deep enough to actually cook and simmer these. But the ingredients that we have are the sour cabbage, half beef, half ground pork, some onions, salt and pepper, some rice. I've already washed the rice, some bacon, some dill, and some either parsley or coriander. I'm electing to use coriander. I know that some of my Romanian friends are going to say, no, you're fucking it up. That's fine. I'm doing this to salute you. And, let's see if we can put it together. We've disassembled our cabbage, and we've got all the leaves all separated. You can see that it took a little time, but when you get down to the middle part of the cabbage, things that haven't soaked in exactly, they start to get a little bit thicker. But if you need to make a roll, you can use 2 or 3 leaves to roll it up if the leaves are small. First thing we're going to do, we're going to start combining our meat. So we've got half ground beef and half ground pork. We've got some onions, some parsley or coriander. I used coriander because I couldn't find parsley in the store, sorry. Some salt and pepper, some dill, that was the recipe that I found, and I like dill, and some rice. Again, I washed the rice, and that's about all I'm going to use for this amount of meat. Best way to do this is by hand. So you're going to just mix it all together. And I'm going to skip forward until this is all mixed together and ready to combine. So now that we have all the meat and our ingredients combined into one big massive meatloaf. So the recipe calls for tomato juice. I only have tomato sauce. So what I did was I thinned it out with water, half and half, and that's tomato juice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of that tomato juice, put it on the bottom of our pans. The reason why I'm using these pans, they're bread pans, but the reason why I'm using them is because of their depth. When I don't know how many layers I'm going to be making, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, when we make the layers, I'll spread them out nice and even, and then we will cover them with tin foil as we put them into the oven. Now we're going to make our rolls. So first thing we do is we get our cabbage, and let me get a good big piece this way you can see. And you're just going to take one lump, about a little bit more than a teaspoon, and you're going to roll it up, tuck it in. I'm going to use 2 because I want it closed on the sides. And that is my first cabbage roll. Going to put it in, get it in there nice and tight, and move to my second cabbage roll. Now I'm going to see if I can turn over and get a bigger leaf, because I know this is supposed to look a certain way, and I'm going to do that. Try and keep it tight. And I'm going to get it in there. You're going to repeat this process until it's all combined and we have our cabbage rolls in the pans. So we're going to skip forward. You're going to see that I'm going to have a layer of cabbage rolls when we come back. We're back. We have our sarmale, rolls already made. There's a layer of tomato juice on the bottom, and we're just going to pour some more on top of both. You want it to come up just about to the level of where the rolls are. And we're just gonna put a layer of bacon over the top. This was the suggestion of a friend. I don't know if it's traditional, I don't know if it's good, but you know what? I like bacon because I'm American, and this is my American salute to Romania. I'm sure that if any of you were here, you'd love it. This is thin sliced bacon. Pancetta, as the Italians call it, because we are in Italy right now. That's bacon. I am just having fun. Those of you that know me know that I love cooking. And this is an amazing experience for me because I get to play in the kitchen, and that is where we are. So now that we have this, I'm going to take a little bit more tomato juice. I'm just going to pour it over these top rolls just to get them a little bit moist. And now we're going to cover these with some aluminum foil. Kind of seal in that heat. Now I've heated up my oven to about 150, 160 degrees Celsius. I think that's probably about 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're going to put both of our pans in when I get them covered. I'm just going to put these in here. And they're going to steam. But the thing that makes them really good is that tangy flavor that we're getting from the fermented cabbage. It's sauerkraut. That's it. I mean, nothing special. But you made it at home. It was simple. 2 spoons of salt, some water, and a head of cabbage. But now that we had all this extra, what we can do is we can take this, and it's like really good. And we're just going to not waste anything. Hot dogs and whether you like sauerkraut or just, it's good. It's really good for your stomach. It's really good for your gut microbiome. Sauerkraut is just great. And all it is salty cabbage. It will keep in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 weeks. It's been on my counter for a week. Some of you might challenge me a little bit for sauerkraut, but I like putting a little bit of oregano in this when I eat it. I don't know if it's traditional, but for me, it just tastes good that way. And now you have some sauerkraut that you can eat on hot dogs or whatever you want. So we're going to skip forward. The sarmale is going to be in there for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. The reason why is the rice has got to cook, the meat's got to cook. I'm going to check it every so often. I'm going to top it off with a little bit of the tomato juice if it simmers down, and just make sure. But basically, I'm not going to touch it. So we're going to continue with making our wonderful Romanian sarmale. I did check the rolls. They're doing good. I added some tomato sauce, and on the advice of a friend, I did add a little garlic powder, to the sauce. Garlic is something I would have added up front, but also I need to say that I fucked it up right at the beginning because I was supposed to saute the rice and the onions and the oil together. I had the oil on the counter. I couldn't figure out what step I missed. So make like a sofrito and then kind of give a little flavor to the rice before you mix it in with the meat. I'll do that next time and see how that goes. But what we're also going to do, I was going to barbecue some corn, but I don't want to heat up the barbecue just to make four cobs of corn. And I'm going to make some polenta. What is polenta? It is mashed potatoes. So just going to, I did a little extra care. Normally I don't peel the potatoes before I mash them, but this time I did, just to make it look a little bit prettier. And we'll use some, when we put that together, we're gonna put a little butter, some heavy cream in them, and some salt, just to give them that nice texture and richness. And I'm gonna have some corn with some butter and salt on it, and that's gonna go on the side. Now, also, sarmale really doesn't need any sauces or anything. You'll see a lot of pictures on the internet. People just put sour cream and some chives on the top of it. You can do that if you like, but traditionally, I think it's just the tomato sauce that gives it the flavor. And when all this is done and we're ready to plate, we will get back to you. All right, so it is now 1800. Our sarmale has been cooking for about 2 hours. We've done our mashed potatoes and our corn. We've got our plate ready, and we're ready to plate and see how it came out. So, open it up. Bring them out. Bring one out. And that's part of the learning experience. We'll get some mashed potatoes onto the plate. This was supposed to be a little bit more delicate. I don't care. I think that, you know, half of this I want to be funny, so I'm not going to use 2 spoons. I'm just going to go plop. And there's your polenta. And you have the American version of the Romanian dish, sarmale. We'd take a little bit of the sauce, put it over, just to get more of the flavor in there. Just want to talk about a little bit of Romanian history. So, Romanian history is very rich. A lot of times people think Transylvania, and that's true. But what a lot of people don't know is that Vlad Tepes was a chef, and he's one of the greatest Romanian chefs in history. In fact, the Turkish, or the Ottomans, attempted to bring food to Romania, and it wasn't up to the standard of the Romanians. So Vlad, he took that food and made it better. What he did, the Turks and the Ottomans, they brought kebab, and Vlad Tepes, as we all know him, Dracula, made shish kebab. You know your history. Love you.